cheeky co-creators, change makers, experimentalists, and compassionate facilitators from around the world that get together every week to share ideas and techniques and tools and new ways to facilitate and innovate and collaborate. So if this is your first time here, welcome. And for all of those of you who have been here before, welcome back. Thanks for coming. We've got a great, I think a great person today to show us, to talk about pastiche scenarios. Deepshikha Yadav, who lives in Bangalore. Deepshika is a futures thinking facilitator. Her work experience includes stints at Capgemini and Accenture. She founded the company World We Desire, for which she conducts her own workshops. Her workshops, she runs them out of a co-working space in Bangalore that's also a co-living space that she shares with about 40 other young entrepreneurs. And her workshops center on the future of you and also on emerging technologies. And for fun, she runs her workshops and she watches Bollywood masala movies. And she's heard about Wednesday Web Jam back in 2020 and has come to a few since then. I am going to turn it over to Deepshika. Deepshika, hang on a second. I'm just gonna move this down to here so we can show your thing. Okay.
Right.
Deepshika, go ahead.
Thank you for the introductions, Steve, and hello everyone. So glad to be here, and today we are going to be talking about pastiche scenarios. This is one of the methods which is not that well known, but it's a very interesting exercise. We can move to the next slide. Yeah. So what exactly is pastiche scenarios? Basically, pastiche is the translation of pastiche is stealing. So pastiche is a way of art in which you borrow your inspiration from other art forms. So there could be pastiche writing, pastiche scenarios, as in this case, and there are a lot of movies which are derived from other art forms using this technique. Next slide, please.
Oh, that's just the credit.
Yes.
There you go.
So here's what we are going to do today. So throughout this session, the activities that you have, what we are going to do over there is a tech product that each team would be assigned to. And what you have to do is you have to identify a character who would be using that tech product and then come up with a storyline. So that's basically the gist of what we are going to do. The tech products that you will have in your rooms are future tech products, future techs. So I think it's going to be very exciting to see the interplay between the character and the technology. Next slide, please. So to give you an example, for pastiche scenarios, they had used this technique while they were about to introduce iPod. So for iPod, they came up with the character of Bridget Jones. And the reason they chose Bridget Jones is because of her characteristics. And next slide, please, Steve. Yeah. So the reason they chose Bridget Jones is because she's a working woman, but she's also status conscious. She would like to show things off. And some of the characteristics that they identified among the many, she's also a very careless character, right? So based on that, there were obviously many other things, but based on that, they identified certain scenarios. So next slide, Steve.
Hang on.
Yeah. So, for example, they identified that someone who is careless is likely to forget to charge their iPod when they are on commute. And based on that, they came up with various other scenarios. Like in that case, do they want to have different product features, better product features, or how do they want to tackle something like this? Similarly, someone who's careless may lose their iPod, or it may get stolen. And if it gets stolen, what are the different cases, like what happens to your playlist and all those kind of brainstorming is what they did using this technique here. So next slide, please. This is basically the gist of it. And this is what we are going to do in the session today. And this was the context. And now I'll hand it over to Steve, and who'll take you through one of the examples and to get to know this technique in depth.
All right. Thank you, Deepshika. So I'm just going to show you all what one of these scenarios, how you might do one of these scenarios. Hang on just a second. I'm moving things around on my screens. Okay. So we're all going to use Mural. Hopefully most of you have experience with Mural. I know if you've been here to a web jam before, we've used both Miro and Mural. This first step, we're going to put you all in breakout rooms. There are going to be about 4 or 5 people per breakout room. Your first step is going to be with your teammates. You're going to choose a fictional character to use for your pastiche scenario. Each of the work areas that we've given you on Mural will have a product. For instance, this is the one that I did, and it uses an urban air mobility vehicle. And I chose Homer Simpson from the animated show The Simpsons as my character. After you choose your character, and we suggest you choosing a character that most people in your breakout room know well and tends to have maybe extreme characteristics. You don't want a character who's just kind of a regular person who doesn't have any like passions or maybe faults. You want people with faults and passions. So Homer Simpson, then I wrote down what the characteristics of Homer Simpson are that I might want to use or highlight in my my storyboard, my pastiche scenario. So I wrote down Homer Simpson is sloppy. He's drunk. He drinks a lot. He's goofy. He's overconfident, and he's simple-minded. So those are just a few things, but that's the first thing you're all going to do is you're going to choose a character. And just to help you all, on the mural board, which we'll post a link to in a second, we have listed a number, I should say Deepshika has put down a number of characters. You do not have to use these characters. You can use another one, but we just wanted to help you if you notice any of these people, whether they're, Disney princesses or, malevolent superheroes or anything like that, you can choose one of these and then cut and paste that over to your pastiche board. And let me just give you a view of the rooms. You should go to the mural board that is named for your room. So if you're in room 1, go to the room 1 mural board. If you're in room 3, navigate to that one. And then there's they go left to right, room 1, room 2, and the next level is room 3, room 4, and at the bottom is room 5 and room 6. We are going to leave about 4 or 5 people in the main room to do one of the pastiche scenarios so that the people watching on YouTube can see us do the activity together. So Anupa, are you ready to open the breakout rooms?
Yes, just like 1 second. I'm just doing it now.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about what to do in the breakout rooms once they're sent in there? You're only going to have a few minutes for this because we're going to bring you back to share who your character is. So be ready to tell us who your character is. But all you have to do is choose the character and write down a few of their characteristics. All right, so let's share the mural link, please.
Yeah, the mural link is in the chat and I'm just making the breakout room. So off you guys go.
Okay, thank you very much. So please go to the breakout room to which you were assigned and choose the mural board that corresponds with your breakout room. Thank you. You're going to have to click, there's going to be something on your screen that says join your breakout room. There you go. All right, we should hopefully have a few people here. All right. So Anupa and Deepshika, and if Mark, if you're available, how many breakout rooms did you do, Anupa?
4.
Okay, which one would you like to do, Deepshika? Would you like to do room 5 or room 6?
Let's do room 6.
Okay,
Steve, do you want to share your screen?
I will. Let me get into room 6.
I think one very exciting thing about scenarios are like, the ability to make people think in any direction. And then, to come up with something that can actually correlate to making an insight, to developing an idea, to innovation. So it has, or even to, let's say, role play. So it
Right.
can be built into any, like any context.
So Anupa, we need to choose a character. Do you have a character in mind? Because Deepshika and I have done this. We'd love, why don't you tell us a character? And you can look at your mural and choose one of the ones there, or you can choose your own. And it can be, something that you, I mean, ideally, if it's an Indian one, something that you and Deepshika know.
No, I'm open to anything. I don't know, for some reason, I was watching, Mark has to say something.
Just noticing that people, the mural boards are not locked down, so people are clicking on the mural and the whole thing is moving around. I'm going to lock those.
Okay, thank you. I locked a bunch of them. I thought I had locked most of them.
So this is actually from, so this could be any character, like from, it could be from an animation or something.
Show. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but someone who's relevant for this product. So the product that we have is smart clothing.
Yeah.
The description, I'll just explain the description. It's a shirt by it's an actual shirt by a company called Ministry of Supply.
Yeah.
And what it does is you won't have odor, or if you're wearing this, no perspiration. And then it kind of adapts to your body shape, so there are no wrinkles at all in that.
Yeah, in that case, okay, I'll change my character. Then why don't we go for, one of the most, admired, and I think probably quite a fit to our scenario is Thor, the Marvel character. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he's very active too.
Yeah, exactly. So,
okay, do you want the movie Thor like right there, or do you want the animated? I think this is a good one. Let's do Thor.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that he would be our, would be ideal for this, clothing, because his clothing needs to be quite, control body heat, reduces perspiration, odor.
What are some of Thor's characteristics?
So I would, I would say highly active.
Steve, can you highlight the screen that you're using for mural instead of the slide screen, please? It's not coming out on the YouTube. Are you sharing? Yeah, you are sharing. I don't know why it's not coming on the YouTube. Okay, never mind.
Okay. Highly active. We could say strong.
Okay, maybe I'll just pin Steve and maybe it'll be better. Yeah. Highly active, strong, adapting to different climates and temperature.
Yeah, he can fly anywhere, kind of. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is that the clothing has to be perfect throughout the day. So it has to be wrinkle free, it has to look good. So the aesthetic value has to be high.
And he's proud. We know. I mean, he's a god.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
what
Role
else-
model.
what
Role
else?
model.
On a
He
mission.
also he's very. You said highly active. Yeah, so he can't tear it. You know, you don't want it to tear when he's like hitting people or fighting.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good enough thing. Let us go back. I'm gonna zoom out for a second and see how other people are doing. We're gonna bring everybody back. So can you close the mural?
Okay.
The breakout rooms.
Okay, I'll just say closing in 1 minute.
Here comes Fetty.
Hey, I came back so for you to know that we finished.
I like your
Yeah.
new digs, Fetty. That's a nice place you got yourself in Mexico.
Oh, this is Doctor Strange.
Is that Doctor Strange's lair?
Sanctum Sanctorum, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Now because we are pastiche, making the pastiche, so yeah, it's into the mood.
All right.
And I have many geeky things in my desk.
Oh,
Yes, we
good.
also chose Thor as our character.
Yeah, I saw him there below ours.
Okay, I'm just going to close all the rooms.
Good.
Okay, close all rooms. We should be getting people back.
All right. I still see. It looks like most people have chosen somebody. You said there were 3 rooms or 4 rooms, right?
4.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. If any people who come back, if you could put in the chat the character that you chose for your room, and maybe also just share some of the characteristics of that character that you highlighted. For instance, I see room 1, we've got Tom Cruise from Top Gun, which I guess fits the Ray-Bans pretty well. If people want to share some of the characteristics, that would be great.
And probably while you're typing in the chat, if anybody wants to share how the exercise was for them.
Yeah, how was that for people? Welcome back. We'd like to hear what character you chose. You can type it in the chat if you want. I see somebody chose Tom Cruise. Which group was that? Team 1?
Yeah, it was team 1. Steve, I think you will have to refresh your mural board because we guys put more characters in there. It's
Okay.
not showing.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, it's okay. It'll work for you. Don't worry. We don't have to show all this. It looks like somebody chose Santa. Who chose Santa?
Santa for dating app. That's cute.
Yeah.
Is that Fabricio? You chose
Fabricio.
that?
Yeah.
Team
Our team. Yeah, team 3. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So Santa Claus, it's a believer. You know?
Yeah, and he's got a lot of special qualities, interesting qualities.
Yeah.
Let's go to the other board. Somebody chose the Joker with a robotic pet. Anybody want to tell us about the Joker and why they chose the Joker?
Yeah, so this was just we were just trying to see if we are able to, copy and paste a character, we then just went forward with that. But like we were trying to capture all the traits that the character Joker represents, which is more of like evil, has a violent side, is attention seeking, a bit narcissistic, has ego. So you're just trying to figure out, all the traits that represents this particular character.
Do you think if it was the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, it would be any different? Or are we just always the Joaquin Phoenix versus Heath Ledger Joker are pretty much equally evil? Okay, we're gonna
I
go
think we're different.
different. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm
And
very
now
curious.
we're gonna go down to room 4. It looks like interesting. The room 4
Wow.
chose Ariel,
Yeah,
right?
Ariel.
Is that her?
Yeah.
You want to tell us about her?
Well, we chose her because we have an exoskeleton, and we are all like mermaid experts in that room. So, and yeah, it was like very good that she is like adventurous. That was many of the things that we spoke about her, like is bravery, adventurousness. Some of the other characteristics, like the one that you said, that sings a lot to overcome her problems. That's always the way to go through problems, and yeah.
I love that. Sings a lot to overcome problems. That is good. All right. And then over here we have, oh, we already did Santa. So I think that's the 4. Anupa and Deepshika and I have an interesting product. We have what you call phase change materials in a shirt. It's kind of a smart clothing. And we chose Thor because he's moves around a lot in his shirt, very active, obviously really quite large, can fly anywhere in the world, so the climate changes. And he's very proud, he's got to look good. So, okay, so now what we're going to do, let me go over the next steps. You're going to take your character, so let's say it's Tom Cruise and Ray-Bans, and you're going to put together a storyboard, and you're only going to have about 15 minutes to do this. You have 6 squares to write your story. You can use images, you can write post-its, but how does this character use this product? And what problems does that character have while using the product? Or how does he use it in a beneficial way? So it can be positive, it can be negative, right? You want to have some peaks and valleys. Deepshika, do you want to tell us a little bit?
Yeah, so we have deliberately kept this part of the exercise very open-ended because we want you to like stretch your imagination, whatever you want to do with the character and the product. So don't think of this exercise as a user journey map. Don't think of it as a strategist or a facilitator. Now put on your storyteller hats. Think of it as writing a script and just write a short story about that. So there are just 6 scenes. So try to come up with a peak at the beginning and the peak at the end. And so if you're stuck, like just think of acts like what are the fun and games, like what are they doing with the friends and with this product, and what are the dialogues and how are they interacting? And towards the end, is there a thing that they are trying to resolve? Is there a decision or is a conflict arising? Anything. Okay. So go for it. It's very open-ended and have fun with this.
Sorry, somebody came to my door that I had to wave off. So we're going to go back into our rooms. Anupa, can you send everybody to the breakout rooms? You're going to have about 15 minutes. So please work together to do your scenario, and then we'll share them when we come back.
Okay, I'm sending everybody off.
Okay, and for our room, I'm going to come back here. Deepshika and Anupa, let's do Thor with his new shirt. And what's the title of our story?
Yeah, I think we can come up with the title once we have the story line.
Sure.
What do you all think?
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. I never really see Thor. I guess I do. You see him in regular clothing sometimes, but I'm trying to think like maybe he needs to like dress up for, something on Earth.
No, I think what we can do is that we can give this character a multi, like there are 6 frames, right? So, like how characters like this keep changing, like almost like Star Trek, where you had that portal where they keep hopping from one place to another. So,
Okay.
yeah, so maybe he's also doing some, so as to keep saving people from different parts of the world. So, we can look at climate, we could look at place. Do we need to have like, so how are we just writing it, or we put illustrating it via foot?
I think we can do whatever we want. So
Yeah.
here's
We can have
Thor.
balance. Yeah.
There's a whole image library. There's lots of Thors in the image library. So you can see here, we can choose a bunch of different Thors in different situations.
Yeah, okay.
Like
So
for-
so maybe maybe what we can do is that we can talk about the, like, how does, in terms of, and then, Deepshika, you can aid us, is that what are the key, for this kind of storytelling, what are the key things that are we looking at? We're looking at, because we have to adapt his character of the clothing to the
Yeah.
scenario, right, to the context.
Along with all the really strong points we identified about him, like how does his personality play out? In the
Okay. Yeah. So I think maybe we can look at the fact that, like I said, the multi, the multi scenario of space. So it could be climate. And that's one thing that we said, that, it has to be like wear free. So, so maybe he's, okay, maybe let me just look at this, the board, 1 second. Here. Okay.
we can do scenario, like you could do a rainy day. I'm trying to think, you could probably look up different images for him, but are you gonna write stuff?
Yeah, we're right. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe we can just like write it, like just say screen box 1. He's like the photo that you've added, Steve, which could be he's like, yeah, exactly. So he's in the cyclone,
Right.
trying to save the, trying to save people who are, getting caught in the cyclone. So it has to be water resistant, and there are people who are looking for him in great awe, so he has to come out as a, this, almost sparkling hero. So that could be point 1, sparkling hero with waterproof clothing.
Okay. I'm just looking for some images here. Nice shirt.
Yeah, maybe I'll start writing. Yeah, so water free, so that's climate resistant also. Okay, let me add.
What's the name of that actor again? Chris Hemsworth?
Yes. Climate resistant and hero-like image.
There we go. So he needs to look nice. I don't know. I'm trying to get something where he's actually dressed up.
Oh, okay. So as soon as he saves people, he's in like what do you call it? Like a press conference.
Sure.
Press conference. So he has to look dapper, and what was the thing? And oh yeah, and here he has to be highly active also, because it's constant change. Constant change.
He really is godlike in appearance. I mean, just the guy. I mean, this is
Steve's like, okay, just look at him.
Sorry, a little bit of a, guy crush here. Like, holy,
Yeah.
I'm looking at all these images.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, how is he feeling now with the change in the costume now? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Sweaty?
Proud.
Yeah, is he getting sweaty or?
Yeah, exactly.
lighter and he
Yeah,
realizes he's more
yeah,
comfortable. Yeah.
yeah. And the thing is that, so the scenario that we've created is that it acclimatizes the person into the environment he is. So as soon as the clothing changes, so like you have wearable technology, right? So the clothing adapts to your mood, to your environment, to your, like body temperature. So this could be, adaptable to the environment as well, right?
Yeah. 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 And so with that, what happens? Especially, let's keep looking back to the characteristics that we jotted down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Maybe we can just put that here. Yeah. Yeah, and then maybe if he like goes back again to the same, you know,
I like that. Yeah. He's
yeah,
got quick changes, right?
yeah.
yeah.
Mm,
What problems might he encounter using the product?
okay.
Buttons. Buttons.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's. I mean, there's maybe some smart clothing that doesn't have buttons, but if you're like moving around a lot and you have buttons on your shirt,
yeah.
they can pop and stuff. So I don't know if we need. Maybe that's obviously not the purpose of the clothing, but
Yeah.
is it
Um,
easy?
yeah, I think that that's a good point, because adaptability also looks at efficiency, right? So if the clothing here that we're looking at doesn't, doesn't look at that change, then it's, then it's going to be, then it's going to be an issue. So maybe we can also look at that, because in a highly active stage you need things to be completely seamless, right? There can't be any,
Yeah.
wardrobe malfunctions, as you say. Yeah.
So probably then that could be the storyline that he ends up having a wardrobe malfunction.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Clothing, and then and then he comes back and
Yeah, I think that's Thor having wardrobe malfunction.
yeah. But
Well,
then,
you're
with the
also-
clothing that we have, he's still quite excited and happy because it's great.
But probably let's dig into the let's have one scene around him having a wardrobe malfunction.
Okay.
Or something.
Does he need to? What about washing clothes? I was wondering if he needs to wash them.
Yeah, he doesn't need to this one,
Are
right?
they
Yeah.
easy to wash?
Yeah, and also what happens if there is a tear, you know like, does it automatically, like, like generative, like, um it just like appears, it just stitches itself together, where you have that technology, almost like those 3D robotic technologies, where they the whole thing just starts appearing once there is a like a rip. So maybe, we can even look into that
Yeah.
it just self heals.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like-
do like. Yeah. We just need to if a way like if we just have like one. So this is the turning point, right? He having a wardrobe malfunction.
yeah.
Yeah. And then what happens? Like, how does the scene evolve?
Here, does this work as a wardrobe malfunction?
Yeah.
Or actually, we could do this. We could do maybe something here. he could be like this.
Yeah.
And probably so that's what the whole press ended up reporting. That's what was on the news then.
Yeah, so how does he repair it? There's a question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And does he go back to wearing that shirt, or does he discard it forever, or starts
No,
with
it's self repairing. So he just touches the tear, and it just starts generating like, you know, cloth on its own. Like, you know how you have the superheroes where there's a tear and then it just suddenly becomes okay. So that same analogy will go for clothing as well. So, you know, the thing is that also if we look at our original our image, we're saying that he's godlike, you know, he's proud, you know, he's perfect, so nothing can go wrong. Even if there is a malfunction, you know, it's just going to automatically repair itself, you know. So Steve, I don't think he's going to sit and stitch his clothes.
Well, I'm looking for an image that's like self-repairing.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think that also we need to, like, how would people, or that's also another thing, is that when it also looks at leadership, right? That the conversation about leadership today is that leaders don't need to be perfect. They need to have empathy. They need to connect. So maybe it's okay for him to have a tear, and, you know, people will just accept him for who he is and what he offers. So I think that can also, so rather than always having a storyline that is picture perfect and has you know, has all the right points, maybe we can also change the scenario to show empathic side of, you know, let's say leadership. So yeah,
I think we got to bring people back.
Okay.
Anita, just so
Yes.
we can, it looks like most people are done. So just do it. They'll get a minute warning. And I see some people coming back already.
We're here.
We're here.
Do you want to talk about your stuff, or do you want us to wait, or do you want to discuss what we were talking about?
Let's wait a second until we get everybody back.
Okay. We were talking about how Thor would, so Thor was our character, and what would he do in a scenario like this? So it was quite interesting. We started speaking about the fact that, you know, he would be in a multi-location, you know, climatic environment, that it's constantly changing. And then we realized that what if he has a malfunction with his clothing? There's a rip. So first thing we thought was that, okay, maybe it's self-repairing, but then we got into the conversation of leadership. Like, does it have to be perfect? You know, people can be vulnerable at all stages. So maybe we don't need to give him this godlike quality of scenario. Maybe it's a rip and then he has to stitch it with a machine. Who knows? So yeah, it was quite exciting for us to build this conversation through storyboarding.
And I still think he's gonna need to wash it. I'm
Yeah,
sure
exactly.
do it, but is it easy to wash, or do you have to take it to the dry cleaner?
Yeah.
These are important considerations.
So yeah, I like how we're phrasing the images of, you know, like people, you know, of what people identity should be, but how they can actually change. And I think this is quite important also when we're looking at personas and users, that, you know, is this who they are and what they need, but actually what else can we do in terms of redefining their identity.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to close rooms and bring people back. Close.
Oh, you didn't close them yet? Okay.
Yeah, I was just giving them a minute. Did I do? Okay, closing in 1 second.
Fetty, you were Ariel, right?
Yeah.
Or is this who? Or is it Cecia or Cesia?
Yeah.
Seisha.
Seisha, where are you located?
I'm in Seattle.
Oh,
Seattle,
cool.
Washington. Yes.
That's a great place to be.
Also, Elizabeth is with us, and Danielle.
And which Danielle is that? Do I know that Danielle? I don't know. All right. Welcome back. Okay. We are going to go over our boards. Any reactions from people on how that went?
I think it was fun.
Yeah. What did you like about it, Michelle?
I think it was an interesting way to get into the persona, not just who the person is, but it was easy to apply their motivations, their lifestyle, as it relates to the product, just by coming up with a simple story and the opportunity to have visuals.
Okay. How do other people feel about it? Any other reactions?
Was it's like very playful. It's that type of things that you learn by playing, actually. Like that kind, you can bring this. We always try to bring games and playing to to our workshops and stuff, and this one is very good for when you have to do things digital. So I'm absolutely going to use it for my workshops because it was very playful.
Good, great.
It really enhances creativity. Yeah, and I mean we laugh. I mean it was a good time. We enjoy it. We laugh.
Could we get a quick presentation from each team? The people who did the Tom Cruise and the Ray-Bans want to talk about that? Somebody from there? I've got it highlighted. Anybody?
Yeah, I can take you through it.
Okay, DJ, go ahead.
Yeah, so like following the character of Tom Cruise in the film, who is very handsome, very proud, he's overconfident. So Tom is a military pilot who is handsome and like to share his journey as a pilot on social media a lot. So he uses these glasses with meta features in it to check the social media accounts of women in the bar to find dates like he does in the movie. So we have a video for that there to relate it with the original character. And then he also uses the glasses to train and explore the world with his aircraft in a virtual world through metaverse. And he likes to share that experience as well. So we have a quote there: "My special UV lens make me powerful and mighty on F-18. Want to learn how to fly? You can take a look here."
Okay.
Yeah, we have a, and at the top, if you see, yeah, and this is the problem that he faces because he's so used to you using these glasses and the virtual world and the things that he's exploring. So the glasses make him nearsighted and cause him to have headaches. And that's where we ended the story. We had to end the story.
So there's a possible glitch to solve there. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who would like to do, how about room 2, the Joker and the robotic pet? Could somebody tell us about that?
I'll tell it. This is Michelle. Okay, so the Joker loves games, but his social skills aren't that great. He's not really a people person, so he enjoys that he can engage with the games with the robotic pet. So he has the fetch. The other thing he likes about having a robotic pet is that really he's a bit on the selfish side. He loves that he really doesn't have to care for it, and in terms of like feeding it, where any other pet would probably be neglected. The robotic pet uses facial recognition that he uses as way to security, so to speak, in terms of if you're part of his gang. But he also can use it for facial recognition on allies of Batman. So identifying potential targets with this robotic pet. And instead of playing with balls, as he likes to play with it, he can use it to send out bombs to reach his allies of Batman, his enemies. So it's playful for him, but he also can use it as a weapon. And in fact, his army can expand because while that one dog, a robotic dog, might have got some damage with the bombs, no worries, he could just get another and another, and his army expands.
Wow. Okay,
Awesome.
great.
Yeah, especially in terms of misuse. How can someone misuse something so cute like a robotic dog for something so severe? That was amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
I think I'm going to be nervous when I see one of these in my neighborhood. All right, next one, we'll go to room, wait, is it room, oh, we did room 3. No, that was room 3, sorry.
No, room 3 is next. Room 3 is next.
Okay, hang on a second, sorry, I just got to find it. I got a little lost here.
I-
Room 3, okay, Santa Claus, and I forget what it is. Who would like to talk us through Santa? Dana? Anybody else?
I'll one of my teammates would be better. I'm having some tech issues here.
Okay, room 3. I need somebody to talk us through room 3. We're limited on time. You got a minute.
Okay, maybe
Okay.
I can.
Go ahead, Fabricio.
Okay, we choose Santa Claus because based on this app to match people, because Mr. Santa Claus always is looking for someone to share a glass of wine and some cookies. This is the main target for him or for her. And we believe that we can provide a good opportunities and situations for the users. Santa was very popular and had a lot of followers. He has the #1 bachelor on the planet. So he can push this line, they had this line to everyone. And he has a jolly manner that attracts positive and happy people to the app to find like-minded dates. So this it's a way to join nice people. Yeah, we believe that, and so we are always looking for some fun and a good relationships. His ability to read through massive amounts of profiles and messages allow him to quickly find the best matches. So as we are talking about in our word app, so we need to be fast. We need to quickly realize the best opportunities. Yeah. And the dating app, it's worldwide. So he can speak like 1,000 languages and brings together cultures, including elves and reindeers and cute bunny rabbits. So it's for everyone. He's a world traveler because it's always is a busy man. So traveling, he travels in record time. Maybe Bezos could get some hints because he never disappoints anyone. It's a faster than Superman, and he provides security because he can get into any house at any time to make sure all dating app participants are being naughty or nice. All depends on your behavior. The naughty ones get the boot and get crossed off the list. So we'll have a kind of we have a kind of confidence, the people need to trust the app will work.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Fabricio. Last one is Ariel and the robotic battery-powered exoskeleton. Who would like to talk us through that one?
Sure. Okay.
You want me to? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So Ariel, as we know, had this terrible run-in with Ursula the Sea Witch, and that experience was not great. And so she said, I want to find a different solution to being able to go on land to see my dear love, Prince Eric. And so she looks around and she discovers this exoskeleton that could be a technology that could help her be on land. And as she tries it out, she realizes that it's, you know, it's meant for 2 legs, but she still has her mermaid tail. And so she wants to adapt the product that allows her to use it without having separate legs. And then through the course of testing that product, they figured out that actually, like, going in and out of the water is a problem. It's not waterproof. And so they have to figure out a way to change this product so that it can be used in the water and outside of the water, and allow her to easily put it on and take it off. And so as she was thinking about that, she's like, you know what, why do I have to be the one to change? Maybe Eric should spend some time down here with me and use the product in a different way. So she decides to get Prince Eric to be a diver so that he can spend time in the water as well, meeting each other in the middle. And so Eric becomes a PADI diver, and she decides to work with them on adapting the product further so that it can be both an in-water and out-of-water device for people who have legs or tails, or maybe just one leg, showing how product innovation can serve more people. And now they did a new design that Elizabeth so delightfully coined as the surf and turf exoskeleton that can be used in the water and out the water for mer people and humans alike.
That's great. It usually is the guy who should change anyway, right? It's usually not the woman's fault. But that's excellent. Thank you. So great. We only have a few more minutes left, but I just want to see any other reactions to that. We're going to have a backstage, so I hope you can stick around and talk to Deepshika some more about it, because she's used this a lot in her workshops. But let me jump to. I'm going to just not stop scaring my screen for a second. Hang on. And we're going to talk about next week. Do we have somebody who can introduce next week's speaker?
Sure. Let me just do that.
Hang on a second. We're going to come over here. That's Deepshika. And so we hope you guys can make it next week. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we have Todd Nielsen. Todd works with community and strategy, and he's going to be talking about the community canvas and how we can build an extensive and robust communities, because right now a lot of brands and a lot of spaces, especially the Web3, are community centric. So how would that work in terms of exactly brand positioning, organizations, and more? So stay tuned, and I think it's going to be very, very exciting. So catch us next week.
Great. Thank you, Anupa. And also, I'd like to encourage all of you here to submit your ideas for web jams. It's not too hard to bring an idea to us, and you can submit them here at this bit.ly link. Make sure you give us your contact information, and then we'll contact you about setting up a web jam. And finally, you can follow us here at WednesdayWebJam.com. And as you know, we are a group of volunteers from across the globe who've been working on this now for more than 2 years. We would love to get your support. We don't make any money off this, but if you wish to buy us a cup of coffee so we can support our Zoom subscription and our mural subscription, you can do a little photo of this code here for Ko-Fi, and Ko-Fi is a fundraising app where we just raise money to pay for our subscriptions that help us carry out the web jam. So right now that is it. Oh, and I should say also, I forgot to make the pitch. We have Wednesday Web Jam t-shirts. If you are so enamored with Wednesday Web Jam that you feel like you need to wear an image of Wednesday Web Jam, you can buy a t-shirt, and there's a link there for that.